What's going on? Thanks for checking out my video, doing a little quick comparison here with the Arctic 20 soft cooler and the Ozark Trail. What I can only guess is the comparison to that, and certainly there's a Yeti equivalent out there as well. But I started using this RTIC brand a while back. Actually, a buddy of mine sells them and got me one as a gift. And I've had some Yeti products before too. I found them to be virtually identical, and there's plenty of videos out there certainly showing that as well. Not only identical in the ice keeping capacity, but just as good, if not better in some aspects, in the fit, finish, design, durability standpoint and materials being used. Certainly Arctic makes out some good stuff. Arctic, but Yeti does make some good stuff, flagship origination of these kind of products, but Arctic is a really strong competitor for sure. And again, they do some other innovative type of things, and their price point certainly is great compared to the Yeti, which I do think is hipster, redneck overpriced, if you ask me, in a lot of aspects. And so I've been real happy with the Arctic stuff, not only this, but their bigger coolers, their tumblers, all that stuff in their brand. Now, then you got, of course, the Walmart Chinese favorite. It's all probably made in China in the same factory, honestly, but whatever. You got the Ozark Trail, which I've had some of their tumblers, and you've seen plenty of videos out there where they're metal tumblers. Oh, I think I actually have one right here. As a matter of fact, I do. Yep. There's the Ozark Trail tumbler right there. Some of those videos are great that show the ice keeping capacity of those tumblers, and it really is true. I think a double-walled insulated stainless steel cup kind of is what it is. These are a different story though, right? I mean, there's a lot of difference in the two of these things, just as you can see here in size, design, and even some of the materials used. So first thing, these you can get for about 150, but 120 to 150 bucks, depending on where you get it. I just looked on Amazon, and they've got these for sale right now for 138 bucks with free shipping on Prime. So let's just say that anywhere from 120 to 150 bucks, depending on where you buy it at. This I just got today from Walmart for $58.97. So certainly, no matter how you look at it, half price, if not less than half price, for the Ozark Trail. So first of all, let's take a look. You got a fairly substantial looking zipper here. I will say it's a little bit hard to pull, which neither here nor there. Opens up to the same blue case. See the thickness there? It's about as thick as my thumb to the fold right there. Comes with this strap, just one strap, and this netting on top. Strap is unbranded, which is no big deal. It's not like you're trying to flaunt and be all cool with your Ozark Trail branding. Got a big front pocket here. You know, that barely opens up, but it's big enough where you can put some cash, wallet, fishing license, something like that. So you got this one front strap. Let's see. They call that a bottle opener. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that is a bottle opener. Okay. I could also see maybe you could attach a little light to that or something maybe. Leak resistant zippers, the EPA foam body, 360-degree heat weld coating, fits 20 cans, neoprene padded strap. Nothing on the back, little webbing on top, which I kind of like actually. That's not a bad thing to have. Certainly come in handy, strap into some bigger bottles on there. All right, so then we got the Arctic 20. So, I mean, again, it's touting that it can hold 20 cans and a little bit of ice too. Now, personally, I've always found that kind of hard. Maybe you can really get a good 12 pack in these things with plenty of extra ice and then a couple of bottles of water and maybe a little snack or something too. It's a little more realistic. Now, let's take a look at this blue foam. And here, considering it's probably similar, This is maybe a little bit thicker. Yeah, maybe. It feels a little more substantial, but not much. I wouldn't say that it's a super big difference. The top, you look at the top though. The top is definitely thicker. See on my thumb right there where that's going to versus that. Top's almost twice as thick on the Arctic. Okay, now I don't have a Yeti here to compare. Maybe I'll grab one of those one day and do it, but these are so identical almost with the Yeti version of this. Okay, what else do we got? Well, we got handles on the side with, and I like the nice, embroidery stitching. That blue stitching looks good. It's solid. I'm not sponsored by Arctic or anything like that, but I mean, hey, those two handles are very nice to have, no doubt. It's got these couple of additional buckles and stuff down here. I don't really know what that would be for. They're on both sides. I guess you could attach this in a different way. I don't really know. Got a little bit of a netting back here. That could be cool. I've used it certainly for a little bottle of sunscreen, stuff like that. Got a much smaller front pocket here. That's almost useless because it's so hard to even get your hand down in. But it does come with this Arctic lubricant, which I don't quite know what that's used for, but whatever. Still, though, it's big enough to stuff some extra bucks and maybe fishing license or something in there, and it seems to be that that'd be pretty well waterproof. And of course, you get a nice big strap. It's padded. It's got that Arctic branding on it. And you know what? Just off of this analysis, I'd say the Arctic is certainly better, but is it twice as good? I don't know. I mean, that's half the price or less for that. Although this is certainly a better made product. You can just tell the extra strapping and everything alone. I think it's a slightly maybe thicker here, but definitely thicker here. Hard to tell on the bottom, but I'd venture to say, that everything's a little thicker on here, so it's probably going to work better. But what better way to test it than to actually put some stuff in it and put some ice in it and see what happens. So, do 6 beers in each one. And half a bag of ice in each one. Evened out there. So a very equal amount of ice. This one's a little taller over here, a little more ice on top of that versus this one being slightly wider and shorter. But honestly, very close to the same amount of ice. And this isn't going to be any super scientific test. It's just going to be kind of like real world. I'm going to keep these in my garage, which it's wintertime. It's pretty cold out here. Probably 60 degrees, 50 degrees. I mean, we're still in the South. But, it's about 50 degrees in here. I'm going to zip both of these up. By the way, too, the zipper, I will say, pulls a lot easier on the Arctic, for whatever that's worth. Again, the fit and finish of the Arctic is a little bit better, and I think very much on par with Yeti for a little bit less money, where this is less than half the price, but certainly cheaper. So I'm going to come back, it's about 5 o'clock right now in the afternoon. I'm going to come back in the morning and see what this ice situation looks like. Later. Okay, well, back here to take a look at this little cooler challenge between the Arctic Cooler and the Ozark Trail, basically the Walmart brand. Now, my whole little testing got off track because this crazy storm hit down here. So I originally did this on December 30th, the day before New Year's Eve. Now it's January 7th, which is 8 days later. And basically what had happened was, well, the next day was New Year's, and that was great. I decided to let it sit another day. Then we had this crazy winter weather roll in, and we got like 4 or 5 inches of snow. The whole island was shut down. I had pipes busting everywhere. I'm literally just getting back to where I can fool with this. So it's been up to about 40 degrees, and I've had the heater going in this garage, so it's probably 40 to 50 degrees during the day and down into the 20s at night, every night. But I still kind of had this heater going, so I would assume it's still got below freezing probably in this garage, or damn near close to it. So here's 8 days later. Now granted, although it's been really cold outside, it's certainly been above freezing. Daddy, let's go ahead and open these things up. I put, as you see now, the beginning part of this video, fairly equal amounts of ice and beer in there. So that Ozark Trail, that thing's a little hard to open up, don't you think?
Yep, it is.
I think the zipper on the Arctic is better. You'll be a good judge of that too. Remember, the Ozark Trail's half the price at about 60 bucks, where that Arctic.
And it's water.
Okay, solid water. Huh, interesting. Well, this will be a real interesting test. If the Arctic is solid water too, then, you know, we'll have to do some more testing. I'm not saying it's much easier, but don't you think that's just a little bit?
Yeah, it is a little bit easier.
It's a little bit more precise, you know?
Yeah. And we got just a little bit of ice in here.
There's actually some ice in there?
Some ice in here.
Really?
Not much, but
Not much, but there is some ice. Open up the Ozark Trail again.
no ice whatsoever there.
Not a single piece.
Not
Huh?
a single piece.
Well, damn. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 6 hours. This might be 6 hours better than this.
Open that back up again. Let's see. I mean, I saw that little piece. I mean, was that about it? A couple little pieces like
yeah,
that?
a couple little pieces. So,
Huh. Well, and see, I thought if you feel the top of that, I think the top's a lot thicker on the Arctic. Like feel it, squeeze it. Squeeze the whole width of it, and then
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's a lot thicker.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you can just tell by looking right there.
yeah. It
Now-
would be it would be almost twice as thick.
Yeah, and at the top's a big key part of the whole puzzle there, you know,
Yeah.
and maybe that zipper's a little bit better quality. You know, I think the bottom's thicker too, probably.
Might be.
Now, is it better for double the price? You know, that's 120 bucks versus 60 bucks, you know,
Yeah.
and it's
I
a
mean,
little bit better straps and stuff
Yeah.
on the Arctic, you know, as
but
far
you're
as,
talking about maybe 6 hours difference. Now, this would stay cooler 6 hours. This would stay cooler 6 hours longer than this one.
yeah, well, yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, I'm gonna do some more testing on them and stuff, but I think even on this test, 8 days in cold conditions, you know, granted not in the blazing hot sun, but that clearly had some ice left in it. Over that, I think it's a pretty cool test. You know, I think the build quality's better on the Arctic. It's got better straps that come with it. I think the zipper quality's a little bit better. It is obviously thicker.
Thicker on top.
You know, and it did hold ice a little bit longer. Remember, the Yeti and the Arctic are almost identical, and the Arctic's cheaper than the Yeti. Now, this Ozark Trail being half the price, that's very compelling, but if the extra money doesn't matter to you, I do think the Arctic is a better product. Is it twice as much better for the money? Well, I'd say it's more like for 120 bucks, it's a good product for 120 bucks. And that's, you know what, honestly, probably not still a bad product for 60 bucks. Anyway, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Comment down below. What do you think? You think there's a big difference in it? Too big enough for double the money? I don't know. Have a good day.